My husband's phone buzzed late one evening, and it cut straight through the quiet rhythm of dinner. The name on the screen was his ex, a person from 5 years ago that we both agreed belonged in the past. Our marriage ran on trust built from small choices that stacked up over time, and one of his was simple. The moment he walked in, he set his phone face down on the charger like he was closing a door on the outside world and choosing us. I'd brushed off the occasional late-night scroll through old history as background noise because he picked me. Proposed under the stars at our favorite overlook, and we'd already been through 2 job losses, a cross-country move, and the chaos of blending families without cracking each other in half. Friends used to comment on how calm we were, how even our arguments ended with hands held instead of threats. So that first text didn't feel like danger as much as a faint echo. Her message was short. We need to talk. It's serious. He left it alone, and that should have been the end of it. Except the call came right after, and her voice broke over speakerphone as she cried about a possible pregnancy and not having anyone else to turn to. My heart took off, but I kept my breathing steady, because losing it in that moment would only put cracks in something we'd worked hard to build. And I told him, as evenly as I could, that if there was even a 1% chance, we'd handle it like adults, and we'd start with the truth. He nodded and squeezed my hand, the same reassuring grip from our vows, and we grabbed the keys and drove across town to her apartment in a silence that felt tighter with every streetlight. She opened the door in silk pajamas with her hair perfectly tousled, and the whole scene hit wrong immediately because there were no puffy eyes, no messy panic, and no sign of someone who'd been sobbing for help. Perfume drifted out into the hallway, polished and sweet like a magazine ad, and she smiled at him in a way that made my stomach go cold. "I knew you'd come," she said, letting her eyes slide past me like I was a coat rack, and my husband didn't play along. He kept his voice flat and asked if she'd taken a test, and she shrugged like he'd asked what she wanted for coffee, then admitted she hadn't, and she only wanted to see if he still cared. His face changed, not with rage, but with the kind of disappointment that makes someone look older for a second, and watching her use the idea of motherhood as bait made the air feel hollow. We turned around and walked out without a word, and behind us her smile finally slipped. Back home, we sat on the couch, and his hand found mine again. Not because we were putting on a show, but because we were trying to understand what just happened. "I'm sorry," he said quietly, voice rough, and he told me he felt like an idiot. I shook my head and reminded him he didn't fall for her story, and that whatever she meant to prove that night, she tried to drag both of us into it. Later, when he plugged his phone in face down like he always did, it hit me that the point of a strong marriage isn't that nobody tests it. It's that when someone tries, you can see exactly who brought the immaturity to the table. We're still us, and if anything, we're a little clearer now.